Growing up, I remember my mom taking us to parks to get us out of the house, to let us run around for birthday parties during the summer, during spring break. There were 4 of us, so it got kind of crazy in our house. Of all the parks, I remember this one specific park that I called the Robot Park. And it was because it had a giant robot. Not like decoration. It was actually made out of a jungle gym. It was really, really cool. You entered through the legs. There was a second level. The third level was the best because it was the chest, but it had arms shooting out that were slides. You could slide down them. And then the 4th level was the head. And you could get up, you could climb all the way up there and see 360 around you. And so I would climb up this robot and get to the chest level, the slide level, and I would start shaking. I couldn't go down the slide, so I would climb up to the head. And in the head, I was still shaking, but I couldn't get off of my hands and my knees. It took me twice as long to come back down than it did going up. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't articulate it. I didn't know what I was feeling at the time. I just knew I was shaking. I knew I couldn't stand up. I knew I couldn't get my body to respond. I didn't know that I was feeling fear, that I was afraid of heights, something that truthfully has still stuck with me to this day. Right now, you're probably seeing a lot of crazy things going on, a lot of crazy things being said. This scripture has been making its rounds that we were not given a spirit of fear. Adults are doing some crazy things like buying a ridiculous amount of toilet paper with more money than you've probably seen in your entire life. And so the idea of being afraid right now might feel a little weird because you're on spring break or you're just doing school from home. It's essentially homework but with a couple extra steps. Maybe you're not feeling afraid like you're supposed to, like everyone else is. You see, fear isn't always the horror movie image of deep breathing while hiding in a closet. Sometimes fear is being a little anxious. Sometimes fear is shaking. Sometimes fear is crying. Sometimes fear is depression. Sometimes fear isn't the I'm afraid, it's I don't feel good. Deuteronomy 31:6, it says, be strong, take courage, don't be intimidated. Don't give them a second thought because God, your God, is striding ahead of you. He's right there with you. He won't let you down. He won't leave you. You see, Moses is giving his last sermon before the Israelites after their 40-year trek are descending upon the promised land. They are literally on the precipice of the new God-given land as Joshua is about to take over. And his last words to his people is not, don't be afraid, it's take courage. I love this quote from Franklin D. Roosevelt. It says, courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the assessment that something else is more important than fear. Nelson Mandela puts it this way, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Maybe you've lost your ability to articulate, to actually say what you're feeling, what you're fearing, what's going on inside of you. Maybe you don't feel afraid. Maybe you're just stressed out because there's so much homework. Maybe you're just stressed out because life is completely different than what you expected it to look like right now. 1 Peter 5:7 says this, pour out your worries and stress upon him and leave them there, for he always tenderly cares for you. So maybe you need to pour out that anxiety. Maybe you need to pour out your stress. Maybe you need to pour out that depression. Maybe you need to turn to God and focus in on him. Focus in on what he has for you. Focus in on what he's calling you to in this season, to be a Christ follower, to be an example, to be a light bringer, to be somebody who brings hope to the hopeless, to be somebody who sets an example above and beyond of what it looks like to be a Christian in this environment, in this culture, in what our society is looking like right now. And I think you as a teenager, I think that's absolutely something that is your place to do that. The funny thing is about that robot park is I've been back to that park since I've been an adult. And like most fears, like most things, the robot wasn't nearly as big as I remember it to be. I love you. I'm so excited to spend this time with you, to spend this time in this format. It's so different, so interesting. Whatever we can do, whatever I can do to be here for you during this time, if I can help you with math homework. My brother was a geometry teacher. I'm not very good at it. He's amazing. We're here for you. We're going to hop off. We're going to be done here for tonight. We're going to head over to Twitch, twitch.tv/harvestyouth. Join us. We're going to play some Minecraft. We've got a server set up. Join the Discord. Talk with us. Just hop in the talk chat and just just, I don't know, hang out with us. That's something you'd do, right? Is just FaceTime and then not actually say anything to each other for like an hour at a time. That's totally cool. That's all we want to do. We just want to connect with you. We just want to keep community with you because we love you guys. We don't get to hang out tonight physically, but we can hang out in our own way. And so we'll see you in Minecraft on Discord. Love you guys. Have a great night.